What if I told you the reason your dreams keep stalling, your energy stays low, and life feels strangely off, has nothing to do with your mindset, but everything to do with what's hiding in your home right now? Objects that anchor you to the past. There are objects in your home right now, quiet, familiar, harmless looking, that are actively blocking the life you want. They're not cursed, haunted, or enchanted in the way movies describe. No, their power is far more subtle and far more dangerous. Because these objects don't scream, they whisper. And the worst part is, you've already made peace with them. Welcome to Capital Brainwave. We're honored you're here. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, but your life still felt stuck? You set goals, you visualize, you practice gratitude, and yet things feel slow, heavy, like there's something holding you back, but you can't quite name it. What if I told you the cause isn't inside you, but around you? There's a forgotten truth, one hidden in ancient esoteric teachings, whispered through mystic traditions, echoed in the Emerald Tablet itself, as within, so without. As above, so below. In simpler terms, your inner world and your outer world are not separate. They are in constant reflection of one another. And that means your physical environment, especially your home, is not just a backdrop to your life. It is a mirror and a magnet. Today, we begin unlocking the hidden layers of that mirror, starting with one of the most deceptively innocent energy traps of all, the calendar. On the surface, calendars seem harmless, even helpful, a tool for time, organization, planning. But energetic wisdom teaches that calendars do more than remind you what day it is. They tether you to what was. Think about it. Every time you walk past a calendar, your eyes instinctively seek the past, checking off days that have already gone, appointments missed, moments past. Energetically, it keeps your consciousness anchored in expired timelines. You may not realize it, but your mind begins to rehearse memories, lost opportunities, undone to-dos. And each time that happens, your life force subtly moves backward. The past is over, but you're still giving it power. This is why so many people feel stuck even when their intentions are aligned, because their physical space is energetically coated with reminders of what no longer exists, what no longer serves. And so they unknowingly drag expired energy into every present moment. By removing visible printed calendars, or at the very least, hiding them from daily view, you reclaim the full presence of now. You release the grip of past rhythms. You unhook from old timelines. You make space for spontaneity, synchronicity, and the uncharted potential of what your life could become if it weren't constantly haunted by the memory of where you've already been. And that's only the first item. What's coming next will shake you. If you feel called to this journey, to explore how the seen and unseen parts of your home are shaping your destiny, we invite you to subscribe to Capital Brainwave. Your support fuels the creation of deeper content like this and helps more people awaken to the hidden design of their reality. Before we move on, here's a question to reflect on. Which one most closely describes your current home environment? A. It's full of visual reminders of the past, calendars, photos, memorabilia. B. It's intentionally cleared of history, designed to reflect who I'm becoming. Comment your answer below, A or B, and share why. Your insight might awaken someone else. Visual triggers of pain, chaos, or threat. Some objects don't just sit quietly in your home, they echo through your subconscious. And among the most powerful of them are the images you surround yourself with. Not the kind you admire from afar, but the ones you live with daily in your personal sanctuary. We often think of art, decoration, and photographs as surface-level aesthetics, but energetic living teaches us that what you see repeatedly becomes a language your subconscious learns to speak, and eventually to believe. Let's talk first about imagery. Many people unknowingly decorate their homes with chaos, a painting of a ship in a storm, a photo of a lone figure walking into the fog, abstract art filled with jagged, violent strokes. These are not just artistic choices, they're emotional broadcasts. Every time your eyes fall on these images, you absorb their emotion. The brain doesn't distinguish between art and life. It only processes the frequency. And over time, what you repeatedly witness trains your nervous system to stay in a state of anticipation, not of joy or peace, but of disaster, sorrow, or threat. This is where emotional regulation becomes impossible. You may find yourself more anxious than usual, more reactive, more emotionally drained, all without a clear cause. But the cause is all around you. You are living in a field of visual stress, and that energy becomes the filter through which you experience the world. If your environment reflects pain, your mind and body prepare to meet it, whether it's there or not. The same principle applies to certain cherished photographs, specifically those of loved ones who have passed away. These images carry deep emotional weight. They hold memory, love, grief, longing, and most of all, a powerful magnetic pull toward the past. You may look at those photos out of reverence, but your energy looks at them with a desire to return, to reconnect, to relive, to hold what can't be held anymore. And each time you engage in that longing, something subtle happens. Your forward momentum slows. Life becomes less about what you're building and more about what you're remembering. You become emotionally anchored to an identity that once was, instead of expanding into the identity you're becoming. It's not about erasing memory. Memory is sacred, but it is about choosing when and how to engage with it. If you're surrounded by daily visual reminders of who you've lost, it becomes harder to fully inhabit the life you're still meant to live. Energetic wisdom suggests this: memory should live in your heart, not on your walls. Create space that speaks to growth, to becoming, to vision, not just remembrance. When your environment reflects vitality and possibility, your spirit rises to meet it. But when it's filled with images of pain, longing, or endings, you begin to shrink into silence. Choose what you see carefully, because in the end, your home isn't just where you live, it's the story your soul wakes up to each morning. Make sure it's telling the right one. Entryway and time disruption energies. The entrance to your home is not just a physical threshold. It is a symbolic gateway between the inner and outer worlds. It is the first point of contact between you and the universe. And yet, most people never stop to consider what kind of message their front door is sending. In energetic traditions across cultures, the front door is sacred. It's where blessings, opportunities, relationships, and abundance are invited in. It is where life finds its way to you. But when this symbolic portal is distorted, blocked, or coded with the wrong signals, everything that tries to enter must first push through resistance. One of the most misunderstood energetic signals is color. Specifically, the color black when painted on a front door. While black is often associated with elegance, sophistication, and power in the design world, its spiritual resonance tells a different story. Black is the color of mystery, void, finality. It is the color worn at funerals. It absorbs light rather than reflecting it. When applied to the very entry point of your home, black creates an unconscious invitation for closure rather than expansion. It signals an ending, not a beginning. This subtle vibration can repel life's natural movement toward you, closing the energetic channel through which joy, opportunity, and connection are meant to arrive. You might not realize it, but you may have been trying to manifest change, attract growth, or call in a new chapter while unknowingly declaring through your home's design that you're not open to receive. This is not superstition. This is energetic symbolism at work, quietly shaping the way life interacts with your space. The energy of the universe is neutral. It responds to what you project, not what you intend. And if the front of your home radiates stillness, mourning, or retreat, that is the frequency life mirrors back. The same holds true for broken or disconnected clocks in your space. Time is one of the most powerful symbols in our reality. It defines rhythm, alignment, and divine timing. When you live among clocks that have stopped, that no longer function, or that tell different times, you immerse yourself in an energetic message of disconnection. You surround yourself with the vibration of missed moments and misalignment. Your subconscious internalizes a sense of being out of sync, and soon, life follows. You may start feeling like opportunities pass you by, like the timing is never quite right, like you're always late, or always waiting. That's because the symbolic structures around you are broadcasting a story of frozen motion, a story of progress interrupted. Even if you don't consciously notice the clocks, your energy does. It reads them as markers of stagnation. To restore alignment, clear these signals. Repaint your doorway with a color that matches your intention, something warm, inviting, life-affirming. Repair the clocks, or remove them entirely. Allow the symbolism in your home to match the rhythm you want to embody. When the outer reflects movement, openness, and light, your inner world begins to trust the flow again. And suddenly, life shows up, right on time. Clutter and hoarding. Scarcity loops. There's something about clutter that we often overlook, not just the mess, but the meaning. It's easy to dismiss a crowded corner, an overstuffed drawer, or a shelf of untouched belongings as harmless. After all, everyone has a little extra. But in energetic truth, clutter is more than just physical accumulation. It is a story of hesitation, a declaration of fear disguised as practicality, a signal to the universe that you are not yet ready to let go, and therefore, not ready to fully receive. In spiritual living, everything in your home holds a frequency. Items you use and love vibrate with purpose. But the things you avoid, the ones hidden away, forgotten, or saved just in case, carry the stagnant energy of indecision. They speak of a future you're afraid won't provide, of a past you're not ready to release, or of an identity you're still clinging to out of habit. Clutter is never neutral. It silently reinforces the idea that you live in a world where lack is possible, where you must hold tightly to what you have because more might not come. The energetic consequence of this is profound. When your environment is crowded with objects that no longer serve you, the flow of abundance is restricted. The universe, in all its wisdom, responds to readiness. It doesn't send more into a space that is already full. When you hold on to clutter, you are telling life, I am not open. I am still holding on to what was. I do not yet trust what could be. But the shift is within your reach. When you begin clearing space, consciously, intentionally, you don't just create physical order. You send a signal to the deeper layers of your being. You affirm that you are ready for movement, change, expansion. You declare, through action, that you are no longer defined by what once was, but are now creating space for what could be. This does not mean you must live in sterile minimalism. It means your space should breathe with you, reflect who you are now, and support who you are becoming. Even one cleared drawer, one reclaimed corner, can become an energetic beacon for new life to enter. It is not about how much you release, but how honestly you choose. And perhaps most importantly, clutter clouds clarity. It creates noise in the field of your home, noise that your subconscious must constantly sort through. This ongoing effort drains your focus, dulls your intuition, and slows your manifestation. By releasing the unnecessary, you give yourself back to yourself, your presence, your attention, your power. Let it go. Let it move. Trust that what you release will return in new, better forms. Your home is not meant to be a museum of your fears or memories. It is meant to be a sanctuary for your evolution. Clear the space, and life will meet you in the emptiness, not with absence, but with possibility. The power of energetic renewal through conscious release. Not all weight is visible. Some of it hides behind closet doors, beneath staircases, inside garages, and deep within forgotten drawers. These tucked-away places in your home, where items go to rest, to be postponed, to be ignored, are not empty of consequence. In fact, they are often the most energetically dense and emotionally revealing spaces of all. Every object holds a memory, a meaning, a moment in time. When you store things you no longer use or need, but cannot part with, you are not just storing matter. You are storing emotion. You are holding on to stories that no longer serve you, versions of yourself you've already outgrown, fears you haven't faced, and identities you haven't released. This is the silent grip of attachment. The fear that if you let go of what was, you might lose a part of yourself, or worse, that nothing new will come in its place. Energetically, these storage spaces become stagnant pools. They are places where movement stops, where life collects dust. And because energy is interconnected, what happens in one corner of your home ripples into the whole. That forgotten pile in the attic may seem harmless, but it's vibrating with indecision, inertia, and emotional congestion. Over time, it influences how freely you think, how deeply you rest, and how bravely you act. When your physical space is filled with what you no longer resonate with, your emotional and spiritual systems begin to mirror that same stuckness. You start to feel unclear, overwhelmed, or weighed down, not realizing that what you're feeling is the energetic feedback of accumulation without release. Your home becomes not a sanctuary, but a storage unit of old versions of you, all whispering, "Don't move forward just yet." But the soul does not thrive in compression. It thrives in clarity, spaciousness, and breadth. And so to make space within yourself, you must begin by making space around yourself. This is not about becoming ruthless or discarding things without thought. It's about meeting each item with presence and asking, does this still belong in the life I'm creating? If the answer is no, honor it, thank it, and let it go. Something extraordinary happens when you reclaim these quiet corners. The act itself becomes sacred. It says to the universe, I trust, I am open, I am ready. What was once hidden and dormant becomes light-filled and alive. New ideas surface, rest returns, flow finds its way back into the rooms you live in and the thoughts you carry. This is how you invite in the new, not by chasing it, but by preparing space for it. The universe is responsive. When you release the weight of what no longer fits, it fills the vacuum with exactly what does. And so, your home becomes not just a place you live, but a living reflection of your growth, your becoming, your unfolding. In the emptiness, possibility is born. In the space you clear, your future breathes. When we think about transformation, we often search outside ourselves for new strategies, new habits, new people, or even new places to move to. Rarely do we turn inward to examine the one space we return to every day, the place that holds our silence, our thoughts, and our unseen energy, our home. But if you've listened to everything shared in this video, you now understand something most people never realize, that the energy of your home is not passive. It is active, responsive, and intimately woven into your inner world. What surrounds you either supports your growth or suffocates it. Calendars that drag you into the past, images that subtly wire you for sadness or fear, doors that block opportunity, clocks that freeze your momentum, clutter that builds a fortress around the future. Each item, each corner, each forgotten pile, they all tell a story. And more importantly, they all influence the story you're becoming. Energy does not lie. It moves where there is space. It flows where there is openness. And it thrives where there is alignment. Your home can either be a mirror of the person you used to be or a sanctuary for the person you're becoming. And the moment you choose to shift it, not just superficially but intentionally and symbolically, is the moment life begins to shift with you. This is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about asking yourself, day by day, item by item, corner by corner, is this helping me rise, or is it silently holding me down? Because the truth is, change doesn't always begin with a breakthrough. Sometimes it begins with a broom, with a choice to clear, with the courage to let go. So what's the deeper lesson in all of this? The state of your space is a reflection of the state of your soul. If you want to create a new chapter in your life, prepare your environment to match it. Let your home become a vision board, not for what you want to have, but for who you are ready to be. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which area of your home do you feel holds the most stuck energy right now? A, my closet or storage spaces. B, my workspace or desk area. Please comment A or B down below. Your answer might inspire someone else to reflect more deeply too. And if this video gave you insight, peace, or even just one aha moment, consider subscribing to Capital Brainwave. Your support gives us the energy to keep creating content that awakens, empowers, and transforms. See you in the next episode.